channel, SOUMYA'S Unique Education. Today, we are going to learn the difference between the historical Macbeth and Shakespeare Macbeth. Historical Macbeth, original name Macbethad Macfindleach, born on 1005 CE, Gaelic name Macbeth Bethan Macfindleach, son of Findleach, born in Moray, northern Scotland. Father MacRuarry Mormaer, Earl of Moray, mother unknown. Wife Gruoch Ingen Boite, a noblewoman with a claim to Scottish throne, stepson Lulach, who later became a king of Scotland. During the 11th century, Scotland did not always follow the progeniture, inheritance by the eldest son. Kingship often alternated among branches of the royal family. King Duncan, the Gaelic name Donchad MacCrinian, ruled from 1034. In 1040, Macbeth defeated Duncan in battle near Pitgevney, close to Elgin. Duncan died from wounds received in the battle. Unlike Shakespeare play, here Duncan was about 39 years old, not an old man. Duncan died in a battle, not in his bedroom, and there is no historical evidence that Macbeth murdered Duncan while he slept. Macbeth ruled Scotland for about 17 years, up to 1057, making him one of the longer reigning kings of medieval Scotland. His reign appears to have been stable, relatively peaceful, administratively effective, supported by many Scottish nobles, and he exercised authority over much of Scotland. Around 1050, Macbeth made a pilgrimage to Rome, and according to the medieval chronicler Marinus Scott's, Macbeth distributed money to the poor as if were sowing seed, and this suggests he was wealthy, respected, and recognized internationally. Malcolm of Canmore, later Malcolm III, son of Duncan I, sought to reclaim the throne. In 1054, English Earl Seward invaded Scotland to support Malcolm, and Macbeth survived this invasion and continued to rule for several more years. In 1057, Malcolm defeated Macbeth at the Battle of Luckfannon in Scotland. Macbeth died from battle injuries, and he was not beheaded by Macduff as Shakespeare depicts. After Macbeth's death, his stepson Lulach became the king. Lulach ruled only a few months before Malcolm III defeated and killed him, and Malcolm III then became the king. Historical Lady Macbeth's real name was Gruoch Ingen Boite. She was descended from King Kenneth III and a legitimate hereditary claim to the Scottish throne, and was previously married to Giles Comagnan, who died in 1032, married Macbeth afterward, and was likely an influential queen, and there is no evidence she encouraged Macbeth to murder Duncan. And major differences between history and Shakespeare: that historical Macbeth was real king of Scotland, Shakespeare's Macbeth was tragic fictionalized hero. Macbeth became the king after defeating Duncan in the battle, while Shakespeare's Macbeth murders Duncan while he sleeps. Historical Macbeth ruled successfully for 17 years, but Shakespeare's Macbeth rule became tyrannical and chaotic. Historical Macbeth, Duncan, a mature warrior king, but in Shakespeare Macbeth, Duncan portrayed as elderly and gentle. In historical Macbeth, no evidence of witches, but in Shakespeare's Macbeth, 3 witches drive the prophecy. In historical Macbeth, Gruoch was historical queen. In Shakespeare's Macbeth, Lady Macbeth becomes the driving force behind the murder. In historical Macbeth, Macbeth was killed in a battle, but in Shakespeare's Macbeth, Macbeth killed my Macduff after a duel. Why? Then question around. Shakespeare changed the story. Shakespeare wrote Macbeth around 1606 CE during the reign of King James the First of England and James the Sixth of Scotland, and altered the history for several reasons. First, to flatter King James, who claimed a descent from Banquo. Second, to emphasize the divine rights of the king, portraying the regicide as grave and moral crime. And third, to appeal James' interest in witchcraft by including the weird sister. And of course, the fourth, to create a powerful tragic drama about ambition, guilt, fate, and corrupting effects of power. Modern historians generally viewed Macbeth as a capable military ruler, an effective and legitimate king, a ruler whose reign brought stability to Scotland, a figure whose reputation was dramatically reshaped by later chroniclers, most famously by Shakespeare, and the historical Macbeth was therefore not murderer's tyrant of the play, but a medieval Scottish king whose life became the foundation for one of the greatest tragedies in English literature. Thank you for watching again. If you want to know more about the Macbeth and the direct Shakespeare's analysis, please subscribe my channel, press the like button and press the bell icon to subscribe. Thank you. Meet you again